Jingle, jingle, friends. Welcome to Holidays at Harmony Hills Home and Garden. I'm Jenny, and we garden and celebrate Christmas here in Baltimore, Maryland, Zone 7. Today's project is to put together some front porch pots to welcome guests and visitors to our home during the holiday season. Come with me and let's see how I put these pots together. I used this Krylon spray to put some snow onto my Harry Lauder's walking stick, or contorted hazel. Now these are the same curly branches that I've been saving all summer long in a container on my side porch. Many of you have seen them in my videos and commented on them. Next, I used this Diamond Dust glitter spray to try to put some glitter onto the seed heads of these garlic chives, but you could not see it, so that was a no-go. Next, I tried this silver glitter spray and it worked best. So I put some silver glitter all over the seed heads of these garlic chives. Hey everybody, don't choose a windy day like today to do spray painting jobs. It's just really a bad idea. Now I have fake snow all over my side garden. I have glitter spray all over everything. Yeah, that was a really poor choice on my part, but the job is done, so now we just need to let these things dry. These are the tops of my Prince Tut grass that we grew as an annual this year. Don't they look wonderful? Ooh! So I found 3 different things in my stash which might work to make these the Prince Tut heads look really nice. One is gold glitter. I used the silver glitter already. I also have white glitter, but it doesn't show up on anything I've ever used it on, so I'm not using that for sure. Okay, I also have gold plate spray paint, and I have mirror looking glass paint. I don't think this one's going to work. In fact, I want to stay in the gold family, so I'm not even going to try this looking glass stuff, but I'm going to try both the gold plate and the gold glitter and see which one I think looks better. So that's what the gold glitter looks like. Pretty much nothing. So I'm going to try the gold plate spray paint and see what that turns out like. I think that's probably more what I would like. It's actually not even very shiny gold either, but I think when I put it in amongst evergreens, it might pop a little bit. And if I put a bunch of them together. I can still see a little bit of the original green coming through, but I do like this massy part up there, and I like this. I think this is the way I'm going to go with them. So I have these vanilla strawberry hydrangeas in my courtyard area, and they dried just a plain brown. There's no real color other than brown left to these hydrangea blossoms. But I think if I hit them with a little bit of gold glitter spray, it'll liven them up, keep them looking a little bit natural, but a little bit Christmassy. And I'm gonna see how that looks. Maybe I'll be able to use these too. So I ran out of gold glitter, so I started in with the gold spray paint. I think they look pretty nice, so I need to let these dry overnight, and then we'll put the pots together tomorrow. Whew. Our weather took a turn overnight, and now it is brisk out here. Perfect for getting in the mood for holiday decorating. So, okay, so I need to go in the garage and check on the snowy branches and make sure that they're totally dry. And I asked my neighbor if we could take some cuttings off of her magnolia tree for winter greenery, and she said, of course, absolutely, take what you need. So we're gonna go next door and get some branches off of this big Magnolia grandiflora. It's just a huge, gorgeous tree, and we'll incorporate those into our winter boxes as well. I've got my basket, I've got my cutters, my gloves, and we're headed next door to that house for their magnolia tree. Okay, across here, and look at this beautiful magnolia tree. It is really, really big and huge and full and lush, and it has beautiful flowers in the spring. As far as my plan of attack, first of all, I want to make sure that any cuttings that I take are appropriate for pruning. I don't want to hurt this tree at all. In fact, I want to leave it better than when I found it. Look how gorgeous and big these branches are, and the leaves. I mean, let me put this stuff down. This small leaf is the same size as my hand. Look over here. Look at this. Just huge, huge leaves. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful tree. So I don't know why I bothered to bring a basket down. There's no way these branches are going to fit inside that basket. Look at how big these leaves are. Oh my gosh. It's just crazy. So yeah, and you can't even tell that any cut was made anywhere. What a big, gorgeous tree. Let's check on our branches and see how they did. They look good. I don't know what to expect from this stuff. Let's see. Focus. Oh. It doesn't hold its shape. It falls off. That's not what I wanted. Come on, focus here. That is not what I wanted. It falls off. Sorry about the bad focus. So this white can of spray snow that I got at the craft store, or maybe I got it at Lowe's, I don't remember where I got it. It looks nice, but you can't touch it because it falls apart when you touch it. So that's a disappointment. So here's the deal with these branches. I'm gonna go ahead and use them. The stuff is gonna fall off of them. I'm hoping that it leaves a little bit of a residue of white so that they show up at least as if they were white spray painted. I'm just gonna move forward with these branches as they are because I wanna get this project done today. But I do not recommend that spray snow out of the can for something that you anticipate needing to be wind resistant, rain resistant, animal resistant, touch resistant. It's not your thing. The last element that I think I want to gather to add into my front porch pots are some of these Nandina berries. These are Nandina domestica, and I have a stand of them here on our south hill, and they've got beautiful red, orangish red berries on them, and so I think they're going to look great in these pots. I have two of these iron tutors, which are trifold. They fold up for storage, but then they open up like this. I have two of them, and they are not exactly the same size. This one is shorter than that one, but they're also kind of dingy. The black has gone a little dingy on it, so I'm going to take a page from the Garden Answer book, and I'm going to give these a fresh coat of black spray paint. This is primer and paint in one, and it's a semi-gloss black. Now they're different sizes. One of them is almost a foot taller than the other, but they're roughly the same diameter, and they have similar features. They both feature a finial on the top. They both have kind of a crisscross diamond sort of lattice style to them with a Gothic arch on the top of them. So I'm hoping that if I plant one of them deeply and plant the other one shallow, then I can kind of make them look good enough to the same so that I can have them on the front porch. All right, we're gonna let those dry over there, put this away, and then we're gonna kind of get a sense for what we might do with our front porch decorations. You might remember that these front porch pots they still do have, Rock and Play in the Blues salvia root balls in them, which I cut back and I put on our garden-themed Christmas tree up in the sunroom. You can watch that video if you want. Also, it had celosia and Dusty Miller that we put on that Christmas tree. And it still has these white moms, some asters, and some pansies in these pots. And so I think what I'm going to do is take the root balls out, and then I'll have these pots to use. Couple things that are not immediately obvious unless you know about them. One is I have ordered from a fundraiser for an organization that I support a live wreath, well, fresh cut wreath and fresh cut garlands. And I will be putting the wreath on the front door. I'll probably be adding some more natural materials to it to kind of match my pots. And I'll be putting the fresh garland around the posts up, well, as much as I have. I'll put it somewhere. I can't remember how many feet I ordered. Anyway, so that is still to come. I'm hoping it arrives this week. But just in case you're wondering, what about the front door? That's the deal. I'm waiting for those wreath and garland shipments to come. So, pretty much everything about this house is symmetric or symmetric inspired. I think I have to go symmetric on these arrangements as well. I think, yeah. Not fully dry yet, but I gotta get moving. All right, so let's see if I can plant this one down deep so that its height matches this. Let's see. What do you think, guys? I think this is a pretty good match. I mean, considering that they don't match. How's it look? All right, so considering that they're not exactly the same kind of thing, I think they look okay here. The top shape here is different from the top shape here, and this one is a little bit sparser. The wires are smaller than over here, but I think I'm gonna go with it. And by the time I put greenery around it, I am gonna be putting fairy lights on them. I think they will match close enough for this project anyway. I got one of these at a garden center years and years ago, and I picked up the other one at a thrift store very recently, and so that's why they don't match. And I do have my eye out for others like this, and I think it would be nice to have an eclectic mix of different styles, different shapes, different sizes of these kinds of tutors. So if you're in the gift-giving mood and you see one of these things, hint, hint, family members, this is something that I would very much enjoy. I'm going to wrap these tutors in fairy lights. These are 50 lights on the string and the 17-foot long string, so it can go a distance. And these are rated for outdoor use, but I still will probably put the battery pack inside of a plastic bag and then tuck it down underneath all the greens so that the junctions and the batteries and stuff stay watertight. I do not like doing fairy lights. Oh my goodness, those wires drive me nuts. And by the way, no, the black spray paint was not yet dry, so oh well. Okay, now can we start arranging greens, please? Yay! So in addition to the magnolia branches that I got from my neighbor, and the spray painted things and the white flocked things that you saw me do, I also have a bucket full of Fraser fir branches, and these came from both the bottom of our garden themed Christmas tree so that we could fit it into the tree stand, and also when I was over at Lowe's in their fresh cut tree section, they allowed me to take home some of these branches. These have been sitting in water for, well, since the day after Thanksgiving, so quite some time now. So they're starting to drop, but that's okay. I also broke down and I purchased some greenery from a garden center because I wanted to have some things available to me that I just don't have in my garden. I don't have a whole lot of greens in the garden that are mature enough to cut. So I bought two, there's one over there and one here. Bunches of incense cedar, and these are the ones that have these little gold tipped things. I guess they're berries or cones or something. And so they have this extra interest on the ends of their branches. So I have two of these bunches, so I'll put one in each side. And then I bought one bunch of princess pine, and each of these bunches were $10. And it kind of broke my heart to pay $30 for greenery, but on the other hand, it will be pretty. So I'm going to divide up all the different supplies that I have left and right so that I don't put too much in one side. So I really don't have a plan. I just want bountiful, lush greenery. I want them to be beautiful on both sides. I want them to be symmetric. I think because these are so big, I think they will look lovely kind of in an arrangement tucked around the bottom of those pillars, and that might be all I need over there. I don't know, let's see. This is too long for what I'm thinking, so I'm going to cut this off down here. I'm going to leave a little bit of stem and tuck this right there. And now I have another branch that I can use in the back. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to cut off the top part and put it in the front, and then use the rest of it in the back. Now, if I run out of this and need more, I can go get some more. My neighbor said that I could take all I need, so that's nice to know. But if you have a limited supply of your greens, like I have a limited supply of everything else, you kind of need to think ahead a little bit as to what you might want to put where, and then just adjust and rearrange as your arrangement progresses, and it will be beautiful no matter what you do. Coming together. And I'm super glad that I divided my greens in half so I know how much I have for each side. Alright, I'm enjoying the simplicity of this arrangement. Let me see what I can do to match it on the other side. Now, this bunch has some problems with it. It's got one leaf that's got a brown tip, and it's got one leaf that's got a hole in it, and there's some other holes. You know what? I don't care about that. That happens in nature, and nothing in nature is perfect. So I'm just gonna let these be in this arrangement. I'll probably try to arrange them so that they get a little bit hidden, but you know, you gotta go with the flow. And this is what nature brings us. It will be beautiful anyway. Broke off a leaf. I'm just tucking it down in. It's all right. All right, how are we doing? Oh, I really like the way this is coming together. Yeah, I think, okay, so I think on these, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to move down to the other ones. I'm going to make my greenery displays there. And then I'm going to take all my accents that I have, the berries, the gold hydrangeas, the white sticks, and the allium heads, or chive heads, and I'm going to do those last. So let me get all the greens set on the lower planters and then see what I want to put where as far as embellishments. Now, Fraser fir is pretty much the most common type of Christmas tree that I find sold in our area. You might be able to find something else if you go to a nursery, garden center type place, but the tree lots and the home centers all pretty much sell Fraser fir, and I love them because they hold their needles in our area really well. But the thing about them is that there is a top and a bottom to the branches. Can you see the difference in color? This is the top of the branches. It grows on the tree like this. And then this is the bottom. The bottom has a more silvery side. They also tend to grow pretty straight and firm, which is a good thing for a Christmas tree to have firm branches. But as far as draping is concerned, when you put them in this way, or even if you put them in an angle like this into your pot around the center, they don't really flop over and drape nicely. They tend to be good for putting up like a one-sided arrangement with this being in the back, or hanging them on your door like this as a swag. So I'm gonna have to kind of see how these branches are gonna wanna be in the containers and try to make a pleasing arrangement. I like the idea of flopping up and out and over, but these branches, not really great for that. That's what this princess pine is great for, but I only have one bunch of this. So judicious use of all my materials is required. I divided the princess pine into two groupings and it was not much. I probably could have splurged and bought another grouping of it, but I'm cheap, so I just have to be smart. Now this incense cedar is a little drapier than the Fraser fir, but not as drapey as the princess pine. The vast majority of the greens that I have available to me are these Fraser fir boughs, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to use them. So another frustrating thing about these Fraser fir boughs is that at the tree farm often they cut off the end tips to make the tree fuller. And so you'll have a beautiful center stem coming up and it has lots of side shoots, but it doesn't have a nice end tip. And so it's hard to find a bough that could be a nice, you know, tall spray. But what you end up doing is cutting off one of these smaller side branches and using it as if it were the center. Well, I suppose it looks nice. It's a nice mixture, but I don't know. I don't feel like I'm using the stuff I purchased to its best effect, but maybe I'm being too hard on myself. I don't know. Let me do this side. So I'm finding that these tall pieces of Fraser fir do best when you kind of angle them under the soil like that. So if I want this one to face this way, I'll put it in here and angle it this way. So I had to angle it pretty dramatically this way in order to get it to face upward. Also, cutting off the bottom limbs makes sticking it into the soil so much easier. And also, if it doesn't already have one, put a point on it. You might as well help yourself out as much as you can. All right, so I think that these are relatively the same as each other, at least good enough for my purposes. So now it's a matter of figuring out, where do I want to put the Nandina berries? Where do I want to put the Prince Tut grass seed heads? Where do I want to put the hydrangeas and the chive heads? So I'm going to just try a couple of things and see how I like them. Like the berries on the evergreens on the bottom, or do we like the berries on the magnolias and the tutor on the top? Okay, so the problem is I like them both. What do I do? Okay, I went a little further on both sides to see if that would help me figure out which one I like better, and honestly, I still like them both. Okay, so here are some thoughts that I have about how to choose which ones I like better. And in fact, I think there's no wrong answer here. I think they're both very nice and they both have a lot going for them. Over here, we have a very traditional combination of greenery with red berries. That is so traditional and it really sings to me. I love greens with red, and I have that all over the inside of my house. And then also the brown tones or the gold tones of these plants here kind of bring out the color of the container itself. And also I love the spray that comes up and out over here. And finally, I think I probably will have a red bow on the wreath that will eventually be on the front door. And it might be nice to have the red bow up there and the lower red over here. That might be nice to have low red, high red, and then over here, low red again. However, on this side, what I like about this is that I feel like when you put the hydrangeas and these Prince Tut grasses together with these greens, it really brings out the tips of the incense cedar, and that is much more pronounced on this side than it is on this side. That kind of gets lost over here. And since I actually paid money for the incense cedar, I think I might want to enjoy the look of them. And I think that this side allows you to do that better because of the color combination here. Also, I really love these berries kind of up and in the business of this tutor, and it kind of hides a little bit of the mechanics of this tutor. And I do love the magnolia leaves with the red as well. And as far as the red bow on the door, I don't think these are too high up. And in fact, I think it's nice that they're kind of a little bit further away from that blazing red of the orange rocket barberry that is such beautiful color right now. Also, remember, I still have white branches to put in that we could add to either arrangement. And I don't want to put them in as a test. I want to only put them in when I know where they're going, because they're going to fall apart before the day's over. So the bottom line is none of this matters. They're all beautiful. So pick the one that speaks to you the most. I think I'm going to go with the one that's most unexpected for me, because I am tried and true in so many of my Christmas decorations, which I haven't shown you yet. I've only shown you the weird stuff that I've done this year, but I have so much inside that is normal for me. So I'm going to go with the thing that would be not normal for me, which between these two, this is the not normal one, because I am such a traditionalist with the red and green. This is what I do all the time. So I think this here, I'll do this one because it is less traditional for me. Like I said, it doesn't matter. They're both beautiful. All right, I'm going to say those are the same. And now I'm going to put in these white branches, which I anticipate are going to fall apart all over me. Yeah, I am not pleased with that product that I used to make these branches white, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If they fall off, they fall off. Just being creative and having fun, that's the name of the game. So, yeah. How's that look? Tell me your honest opinion. You probably would have put the red down on the lower ones, wouldn't you? Now that I look at it, I would like a pop of red down on the bottom. I might go get some more berries and just stick 2 little berry sprigs down on the bottom corner of each of these lower pots. Yeah, I gotta go get some more berries. Yeah, I think that was, in my opinion, necessary. And here are the finished planters. Thank you so much for joining me today as I put together my front porch planters. I had so much fun putting these together. I hope that you enjoyed watching. I wonder what you're doing on your front door. Do you have a live wreath? Do you have a faux wreath? Do you put together front porch pots like this or something different than this? Let me know in the comment section down below how you are making your front entry welcoming to your visitors during this holiday season. I hope you'll subscribe. I hope you'll hit that like button and come back and follow along with more garden themed, nature themed, or just fun projects in the coming weeks and months. Have a great day, friends. Bye-bye.